Here's a history class they don't want to teach you. It's called From Noah to Now. It all starts with Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, big flood, whole world reset, and only his family survives on a DIY boat. He had 4 sons, Yam, Sam, Ham, and Japheth. We're gonna focus on Sam because that's where the Samites come from. These guys settled in places like Yemen, Iraq, Syria, and the whole peninsula. And they were speaking the OG languages, Arabic, Aramaic, and Hebrew. 1,000 years later, from a place called Ur Kasdin, modern-day Iraq, Prophet Abraham alayhi salam wasn't vibing with people worshipping statues, so he packs his bags and moves to Canaan, aka modern-day Palestine. Now here's the twist. Canaan was already popping. It had ancient cities, trade routes, and the people were also Semitic, just like Abraham. So it wasn't an empty land waiting to be claimed. Then came Ishmael alayhi salam and Isaac alayhi salam, sons of Abraham. Ishmael is moved to modern-day Mecca. Isaac's line leads to Yaqub, Jacob alayhi salam, whose nickname was Israel. He has 12 sons and one of them is Joseph alayhi salam. He had main character energy and his brothers were jealous, so they tried to get rid of him. But he ends up in Egypt, grows up and becomes the minister of finance. He brings his family over and around 200 years later they get enslaved. Fast forward centuries after that, Musa alayhi salam comes through and frees them. But because they're disobedient, they wandered the desert for 40 years. Eventually, under Joshua, they entered Palestine. But again, this land wasn't empty. They fought for it, lost it, regained it over and over. Then comes Dawood alayhi salam, who is the first king that's a prophet. He unites the tribes of Israel and makes Al-Quds, Jerusalem, the capital. After him, his son Solomon alayhi salam, takes over and the Holy Land saw its golden era. Peace, prosperity, vibes. But sometime after he passed away, the kingdom splits into 2. Israel in the north, Judah in the south. And from here, non-stop drama. The Assyrians invade. Then the Babylonians destroy the temple and exile the Jews. Then the Persians take over, let them return. Then the Greeks show up. And by 63 BCE, Rome does a full-on occupation and expels all the Jews. Skip forward a few centuries, and Jesus, Isa alayhi salam, enters the chat, born in Bethlehem, Palestine. He preaches, gets rejected by most of his people, and then the land falls under Roman control. Then around 600 years later, remember Ishmael? His lineage leads to the greatest human ever, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and he introduces Islam, which means submission to the one God. One of his companions, the great Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anh, takes over Jerusalem and he brings back some Jews. Then the Muslim dynasty rules from Palestine to Baghdad. But in year 1099, the Crusaders invade, massacres, bloodshed, and they take Jerusalem and hold it for almost 90 years. Until Salah ad-Din comes through in 1187 and liberates it. And then he allowed everyone to live in peace, Jews, Muslims, Christians. Then the Ottomans take over in 1517. That means that Palestine stayed under Muslim rule for around 1,300 years. Fast forward to World War I, the British trip out in 1917, they dropped the Balfour Declaration, promising a Jewish homeland to the creator of Zionism, on land that wasn't theirs to give. Now it's World War II, and the Jews that were expelled centuries ago that are now European become refugees because some madman started a Holocaust. Guess where they ended up? In Palestine. And how do they repay the people who took them in? With the Nakba. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians are kicked out of their homes and killed. Israel is declared. And the world just watches. And now they claim that God promised them this land 3,000 years ago. But Palestine wasn't theirs. It wasn't ours. It was everyone's. And no matter how hard they tried to rewrite history, you can never colonize the truth.